All right, hello everyone, and welcome once again to the Northern Games Summit YouTube channel. Today we have a bit of a different interview. Today we are interviewing our host for Northern Games Summit 2022, Natasha. Hello, how are you today?
Hello, I'm awesome. Like, it has been really busy summer, to be honest, but and Gamescom this week, so it's gonna be quite interesting week. But yeah, all considering, all really good.
Yeah, that's amazing. So tell me a little bit about yourself. What do you do?
How long do we have? As a day job, I'm running an indie game studio called MyTale here in Turku, where we are, living and working. It's a strong team of 17 developers at the moment, and we are looking for more talent. But let's see how all the things go forward, as scaling up is a bit of scary thing, to be honest, but that's a positive problem. So besides working in the industry, I have been very active with the games community, as you might know me from IGDA, and especially IGDA Finland. But from the past few years, I have been involved with the IGDA Global as a board member, and also now as a chairperson of the whole global association. So there has been a lot of things going on. And of course, as that is not enough, I'm still affiliated with University of Turku, where I am teaching 2 courses, game design and game art, and also writing articles and books as it goes. But this is kind of more when I can. However, it just part of me cannot step away from the academic world. Besides that, being a regular old nerd with all sorts of hobbies and things that I try to do as much as I can on the side. But when you do what you love, which is game development, it doesn't really feel like work. So this is why all of this makes sense, even though it sounds a lot, but it's all pretty much, it all fits together really well. So that's as short as I can go, because as you might know, I have a thing or two happening around. But these are the main things.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole lot of work. I'm not entirely sure how you manage it. Obviously, you're pretty much...
I'm taking time and space most of the time. That's how it kind of like being in a superposition. The only thing I don't know how I'm doing. But when people ask me, what is yours? I don't know. Basically, what makes me go is a lot of chocolate. Chocolate is for the soul. Chocolate and coffee. And in particular, if you can have, double cream, double sugar kind of thing, that is the thing that really keeps you going. So that is my fuel. But other than chocolate, I said, all of this sounds like a lot. I mean, it is, but it's not kind of, it all fits together. So it's not impossible to make it all kind of work, because the beautiful thing about our industry is also that the people who are active and who are part of the industry are equally excited about everything we do, and really excited also to collaborate. So it is, again, not hard to make it all happen like this, so that the things do get arranged and so on. But time management is definitely a skill one needs to work on if you have multiple things going on, especially family. I'm also a mother, and I have quite a zoo here, as I have 3 dogs, 2 cats, chinchilla, and who knows what else will end up with us. But it's a lot of stuff going on, but it's never boring. So I'm missing the days that I can say, oh, I'm bored. It's not really possible to be bored. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's not a bad thing. I would expect it's pretty nice. So you mentioned you work at MyTale. How do you pronounce that?
MyTale. Yeah. MyTale. So it's about our team. I mean, our company is focusing overall on narrative-driven experiences, regardless of the platform. So mobile, PC, console, VR, AR, you name it. And but it's all about how we can utilize the interactive storytelling and generally focusing on experience design and then again, whatever tools are the best to use for particular needs of the project, this is where then we use. So we don't have a preference over, let's say, Unity, Unreal Engine, or just like whatever makes the best for the project. Like that's what we use, and it goes pretty much with everything what we do. But yeah, my tale is so it's about tales, about stories. That's how it all started in the very beginning. But we kind of went with I instead of Y in the name. Again, it was one of those evenings when you are with the team putting up a name, so things happen.
No, it's a good name. What games have you released?
Well, we have been working on multiple games for with our partners and clients. So from our own titles, we have developed Sanalanka Friends, which is the whole franchise in gamified solutions for. Basically, we're utilizing hyper-casual gameplay with the educational content without really telling it's educational. So it's kind of like, think about Talking Tom having an educational aspect to it. So that's a mobile free-to-play. And then we have, I said, like, I mean, from those published games with fellow partners, some are already out there, quite big titles currently that we work on. Unfortunately, I can't talk anything about it, but hopefully this year we can announce a thing or two. And then we have two, well, besides again some apps and things that we have developed on our own. Clay, The Last Redemption is the game that we have been focusing now on launching. So it's a RPG, straightforward RPG going to Steam. Like not much more to it, like pretty much niche PC focused game. We will see about console side, but yeah, it's a PC game. So that's now, you can check it out on Steam. There is of course the Steam page, and we are going to present it also at the booth at Gamescom this week. And yeah, launching anytime now this year should be. I just don't want to put any dates in just because we don't want to overpromise because we have so many other things going on. And then we have in pre-production one game that is called Willow's Ave. We didn't announce it yet publicly, but why not to do it now? I mean, this is the beautiful thing of being an indie developer. Like, we can talk about our projects. Like, what's the problem? What secrets? So, I mean, for the clients, we can't, because we do both B2B, B2C, and this is what makes us also very much independent, and we want to keep it that way. So, as a studio, so and yeah, Willow's Ave is basically Mouse Guard meets Witcher. That's the kind of, so it's gonna be a Badger Witcher main character. We can't call it Witcher, obviously, but it's gonna be a warlock, and it's gonna be dungeon crawling, narrative driven game. I'm very excited about that one.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. Looks like we have a scoop here. Pretty nice. Well, I mean, wow, that was once again quite a lot. Any particular favorites among the stuff you worked on?
Yeah. Okay. Well, basically, I do enjoy design challenges. So basically, I can tell you that with working on the bigger IP, there's multiple challenges that what is allowed, what is not allowed. But this is kind of the design challenges that I like, when someone tells you you can't do this and that. So basically, that's usually fun. So client projects have that sort of thing a lot. So this is design aspects that are really like when you need to solve something to fit for what players need, or what you would think that it would be really good for experience, but then IP, for example, is kind of no, which is like, okay, let's find a way around it. So these kind of things have been quite much in my career, kind of like, because I have been working with IP and licensing for the past 15 years. So and quite, I mean, from the latest ones that I can speak of is of course Moomin characters and all that, but I mean, that's in the previous company I worked at, but yeah, currently, I mean, I'm really enjoying developing our IPs when it comes, because our team has a lot of games and game concepts that we do in my tale. I mean, that we do as test runs, like do constantly our own prototypes and figuring out like what next IP would be. So basically, we do have our own game jams and so on. So I'm really excited about Clay, because we are really developing the whole IP out of that. this spring we had also we launched Kickstarter campaign for the art book based on the game. So it is kind of also covering the story before what happens in the game. So basically, those who will play the game also can have this sort of story of before. So this kind of gives a bit more flavor to it. But we are also planning to, and now the backers are gonna get finally there. So because it's just like it's so long to get books in print and everything else, which is again, half of things are not in our hands. And now we are planning to actually look into developing board game out of the same kind of like same world. Of course, it's not going to be kind of like the PC game now, board game. I think we will most likely go into direction that we will just, as the world building, as we have been developing all of this world and characters and all their, I mean, all their even family kind of like lines and things, like the whole family trees. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what else we could do with the world itself. So why not to make a board game? So most likely it's going to be another RPG or something like that, because guilty as charged. So yeah, this is really exciting. And then of course, what else? Again, these client projects in general, or working with the publisher on the, you know, their titles and so on, it all has their own great things. So it's really, I mean, we are privileged enough that we can actually pick the projects we want to work with. So it's really not like, basically I do enjoy every single project we work on, or our team does, because that's how we run. If someone doesn't want to, nobody's forced to do it, and we will simply accept the projects that team fully accepts this. So nobody's forced to do anything. I mean, I don't think that's any way to run a creative development overall.
Yeah, no, definitely. That sounds honestly like a great place to work. So now getting
we are trying yeah, we're trying our best to really be like everything to be as flexible as possible, and very much focusing on the individuality of every team member and how they work, what they need, how all of that. And of course, maybe because I'm an educator, I'm always kind of like, whenever they try something new, there's always we always encourage that, whatever it is. So even outside of their day job kind of like tasks that I otherwise do. So yeah, if you want to do, I don't know, you're a 3D modeler and you want to explore something with audio, go for it. Like, what do you need? Where do you want to start? And we can also arrange that as a company, like to be part of the company training or whatever, like this sort of, you know, by the courses and person to some specific courses, whatever it is that people want, they can do. So yeah, it takes a bit extra. And of course, like it all sounds like it, but yeah, when there is a will, there is a way, and that is why like nothing happens without the people. So that's why we really focus on the team members, each one, every single one equally, and we have fully flat hierarchy. So sure, I go out and talk like this because everyone else is like, do I have to? So it's like, yeah, fine, and then I'm ending up to do all of this, but yeah, otherwise, like, yeah, I'll sign this sort of contracts and go forward with things that the whole team agrees upon. So, and I want to have such setup. I know that many might not agree with this type of business development, but it worked for us really well so far. So
yeah, well, that's the most important bit. Now getting a bit more to the more specific questions on Northern Game Summit. Firstly, have you been before?
I have been, but it was so many years ago, to be honest. It's like every time there has been a bit of schedule conflict in the past years, and I'm not talking about the obviously the COVID years. They just flew by. Like, I don't know what happened in that, but yeah, in the past 3 years before COVID, unfortunately I couldn't attend because there was overlapping schedule in my case. But overall, I know that, I mean, the whole program wise and generally the responses of the audience and fellow game developers who were always attending was always so well accepted. And I mean, this sort of the everyone was always praising the Nordic Game Summit. So I'm very much looking forward to this year's event.
Yeah, Definitely. I was just going to ask, what is the number one thing that you are looking forward to?
Well, first of all, I'm once again looking forward to be in Kajani. That would be nice. Also, as one of our employees actually lives in Kajani, so it would be really great to also kind of like be with fellow devs there, and overall, meet friends who are there, but as well getting of course, all the everyone who will be attending the event is it's very nice and inclusive and welcoming, not just environment but community and everyone else there. So I'm really much looking forward to just simply sharing stories with people, getting to know each other more. That's about it. That's all what it's about, really. All of these events that we attend at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because business happens, getting to know each other and overall building trust and all of that is way more. This is where also the business as well grows from, at least in my opinion, because people work with people. And one thing that I personally really want to avoid is working with a-holes. So basically that's the motto we have, no BS and no working with assholes. That's our way of working. So therefore, trust between people, and we, again, this sort of it's really important to have that connection with others, and these events are really good for that, and especially on the professional level. So it's not about now partying and so on. I'm actually one of those old women who likes to go to bed if I can, because I don't sleep much otherwise, but when I travel, I actually do get to sleep, unlike many. So I'm using also this opportunity, like now in Gamescom. I'm not going to be most likely at the parties. I'm going to go to the hotel room and kind of zen out, because I don't have actually, some other urgent matters and deadlines, just Gamescom. So therefore, resting, but during the day, meeting people, as I said, sharing stories, being there, simply getting to know each other as fellow professionals is really amazing.
Yeah, well, the party isn't luckily mandatory. It's
party is nice, and one can always sure. I usually kind of show up for, I don't know, drink or two, but basically I don't otherwise party. I've never been really a party person, but regardless, I have nothing against parties, obviously. But it's just that's kind of tomorrow is another day, so having a good night's sleep, especially when you can, as I said, in this household with the dogs and everything around, it's always questionable who is going to wake you up at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. or so on. So being on a trip is also the same. Even if it's business trip, it's really nice to kind of also be able to reset minds in that way. So looking forward to that part of attending the event as well, to be honest, on my personal matter.
Yeah. Okay, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for being here. Now, guys, remember the tickets are on sale. Links to everything, our social medias, the tickets, and also some of Natasha's stuff will be in the description. And yeah, I will see you guys there.
Looking forward to meet you all at Nordic Game Summit. Cheers.
Yeah.